Are you what we call a certified BP? What's a certified BP? It's a certified busy professional, where you are so busy planning your career, your job, that you forgot to plan even your own life? Is that you? Or are you so busy with having a good job and good income that you have no passive investments? Or how about this? You are so busy making your company lots and lots of money, making your company rich, that you have no investment assets yourself. If that's you, there's still hope. There's still hope in learning how to generate passive income. But you have to acknowledge three things. Number one, you have to acknowledge that what you're doing today, right, is not getting you towards passive income. Okay? Number one. Number two, you're going to have to learn a new way of reaching your passive income goals. What you've done in the past is not working. And number three, probably the most important, is you need to take action to decertify or uncertify yourself as a certified BP, a certified busy professional. And that's what today's video is on. Today's video is on creating passive income for busy professionals using commercial real estate investing. Let's get started. All right, let's get started right here and right now. There is no better way to share with you how to create passive income as a busy professional than with the real deal from one of our students. So in a few minutes, I'm going to share with you her video, her story. But before I do that, let me share with you a little bit about her and a little bit about her deal. Okay? So number one, about our student. She's a traveling optometrist. She's an eye doctor between 3 states. So she is a certified busy professional. She is so busy, right? When we met her. Secondly, I'm so proud of her. She is a first generation college graduate. So that is so awesome. So kudos to you. All right. And next is she's a self-confessed introvert. I bring that up because us shy people, us introverts who like to be alone, right, and read our own books and keep people away, we are sometimes the best real estate investors, right? Because of our ability to hone in and have a relationship one-on-one with a person, right? All right, so more about that later. Next, she had a 7-year dream of owning commercial real estate. She thought about this for 7 years. And in 8 months, we're able to show her how to realize the dream. All right, and she'll share her story with you. And she ended up closing 2 deals with us in those 8 months. Okay, so that is a little bit about her. Let me go on to the deal. All right, so it's a 12-unit apartment complex. It's an ugly property in a great location, and that's what you want, right? You want a C-class property in a B-class location because you can fix a property, but you can't fix a location. So the goal is to bring the property, the ugly property, up to the standards of the neighborhood so you can realize the benefits, which is more cash flow. Okay? All right, the asking price was $540,000, but we showed her how to kind of work with the seller, and she actually bought it at $500,000, right? And if we do the math here, okay, do some math here, bear with me, $500,000 divided by 12 units is $41,000 per unit. Why does that matter? Well, that matters because there is a property across the street, a sales comparable, that sold for $100,000 per door. So she's buying this significantly under the market, right? How does she do that? Well, we showed her how to go direct to the property owner. The other thing that she did was she was really good at understanding that this business, this commercial real estate business, is a relationship-based business, right? Opportunities are had through relationships, problem solved, money's raised, right? Opportunities come to you because your ability to hone in and nurture relationships. She was good at that with the seller, ideal. All right, next is her current rents are averaging $600 a month, right? And a little low because it's an ugly property. The rent comparables properties around her neighborhood are getting $900, right? So the goal is for her to give her property a facelift to go from 600 to 900. And as you all know, as the NOI goes up, so does the property value. That's the goal here, okay? All right, so the goal is with this higher rent and higher NOI to take her $41,000 per unit property up to $100,000 per unit property. So if you do the math, 100,000 times 12 is $1.2 million in value. So we want to go from 500,000 to 1.2. You can do that in commercial. Okay, you can. All right. Next is her challenge. She had quite a few challenges. Okay, we all do, especially as beginning commercial real estate investors. She had good credit, but she had no experience. That's why she came to us, right? And then she had a little bit of money, not enough to close on this deal. So what did she do? She will share that with you in the video. So you're gonna watch the video how she got the money to close on this deal. Okay, not as hard as you think. All right. So now, because she had no experience and she had a little bit of money, she was challenged by having the confidence to go to a lender to share with them what she's trying to do. So she put on her Sunday best, right? Went to two banks. Both of them, surprisingly, to her surprise, not her surprise, to her surprise, they approved her. One bank gave her an 85% LTV, loan to value loan, meaning that she has to come out of pocket with 15% as a down payment, right? And then this loan would take care of the acquisition plus the renovation costs. How did she do that? She did that because we showed her how to create a good story surrounding their property. You see, banks love good stories because banks are all about mitigating their risk, right? So if you can share with them how we can mitigate their risk, right, then they're more likely to not give you the money. So that's exactly what we did. And wouldn't you agree this property has a great story, right? All right, exit strategy. As you guys know, exit strategies are so important in real estate, right? So never go in and buy a commercial property without an exit strategy. Just not a smart thing to do. So her exit strategy was to give the property facelift. Again, the bank will pay for it. She's going to raise the rents, and then by raise the value, she's going to add 2 additional units. There's a building in the back connected to the property. All we have to do, it's already plumbed, it's already wired. The owner didn't finish it up. We just drop in a few walls and we have 2 more units. 2 more units of income, 2 more units of cash flow, higher value, right? And then, like I said, the property would be worth between $1.1 to $1.2 million in cash flowing, a little more than $4,000 per month. Okay, so that's a little bit about the story. You know something about her now, right? Now, next thing I want to do is take you to her videos. It's short. Go ahead and watch it and see if you can put yourself into her shoes. Then we'll come back and finish up the video. See you there.
Hi, my name is Monica Kennedy. I am an optometrist, but I've been interested in commercial real estate for probably about 7 or 8 years now. I've always seen it as a pillar of wealth and something to help me solidify my retirement in the future. And I was curious of which part of real estate I wanted to get into, and I always came back to apartment complexes. And this eventually brought me by Peter's YouTube videos. And I think I've been following him for probably over 3 years now. And so since I've been following him, when I decided to make the decision to actually move forward, that's when I decided to apply to his protege program. And he basically turned a dream and a desire that I've had into reality. And for that, I've been grateful. So from the very beginning, this program has been it's been very easy to work with everyone there from the beginning to the end. There's always someone, if I ever have a problem, there's always someone at the office picking up the phone, walking me through problems. It's been great, my level of access to Peter and how much I've had like phone conferences with him. They really provide all the tools you need to be successful in this industry. In the very beginning, they provided like coursework for you to go through, and there was actually follow-ups and accountability to make sure that you're retaining the information, or if you need to ask any questions or need any more clarification on anything. And that was very, very good and very helpful with increasing my confidence in the industry, because it taught me the language, how to analyze properties, basically how to handle myself whenever I started going to real estate meetups and things like that. So from the education that he provides in the very beginning, from the phone conferences and the mentorship, and just being available to help me, like even if I was like, okay, I'm meeting with a seller tomorrow, I can go through, you know, all of the potential conversation points or the negotiation points. All of that has just been very helpful, and it's allowed me to get from, you know, not knowing how to start to actually having closing on 2 deals. And so the program comes highly recommended for anyone who's ready to take it to the next level in the commercial real estate industry. So I actually closed on 2 deals under the Protege program. The first deal was a duplex. It required so much work. The inspection was so bad. My inspector called me. He was saying that you just don't even want this deal. I'm not even going to charge you for this one. And he didn't even complete the inspection. But instead of walking away from that deal, I actually did a wholesale deal with that one. The second property was the property I currently own, which is a 12-unit apartment complex. It's a nice location. It's right between the historical district and the downtown district, so people can easily walk to the downtown. It's kind of the ugly duckling on the block. I would say it's probably about a D property in a B- area, so there's a lot of room for improvement and for forced equity. The owner actually called me. He said, I was just wanting to follow up and, you know, see what your interests were. And kind of found out he was an older retired veteran, and he originally bought the property for his son about 15 years ago. He said when he bought it, it was basically in horrible shape, and he worked on it himself over time to bring it up to rentable standards, and he gave that to his brother and his wife. But they ended up getting divorced, and his son moved, so now he gets the property back. And he was managing it himself. He was just getting tired, and he was just ready. He and his wife were just ready to sit down. And so I met with them, lovely couple, like we hit it off right away. And yeah, he basically was saying that he wants to sell the property to me. The original price he quoted me was $540,000. I had the inspection done, took the inspection back to him and showing him how things needed to be improved, and I actually got $40,000 off from that. So I got the price at $500,000. And mind you, now the property next door was a 4-unit that was in great condition, of course, that had sold for $400,000 2 years prior. So it was a great deal, and I think it had a little bit to do with just like the relationship that we had built through that whole process. So yeah, so that was $500,000. So my next challenge was like, how was I going to get funding? I don't even have a mortgage in my name, and so I wasn't sure how the banks were going to see me if they were going to see me as an amateur or even take me seriously. But I just dressed up and I went to talk to 2 banks. I remember in the first 2 banks I talked to, they actually ended up approving me. I went with the bank that had the lowest down payment of $15,000 at 5.5% interest rate over 20 years, but a balloon payment at 5 years. And at that point, it was a boost of confidence, the fact that they approved me, but at the same time, it was kind of nerve-wracking because I was like, I have to come up with $75,000 that I don't have. So from this point, it was just me just putting on face and walking in confidence whenever I'm meeting with the seller and the inspector and getting all of the documents and things that I needed in line. But it ended up working out. I used my savings, I borrowed money from my mom and from my aunt. And so between us 3, we were able to come. Oh, also too, what I ended up doing is the deposits that he had. I had him add that as a credit at closing, which lowered my required down payment at closing too, which was also a help. And so that worked out as well. At the time that I purchased it, he had the tenants. I think there was one vacant unit. Everyone was renting out the units at $600, and whenever I looked at the comps in the area, the rent, one bedrooms were renting out for no less than $900. So there is a lot of room for upside. And so at this point, what Peter and I are working on is renovating the property, because currently there's 12 units, but and the 12 units consist of 4 buildings. There's a duplex, a cottage home, a carriage home that has 2 units on the top but a workshop in the bottom, and a 3-story building that has 7 units on the first 2 floors, and there's like a vacant sort of kind of attic area on the 3rd floor that's basically big enough to add at least 2 studios. And so what Peter and I are working on now is to add the units. So the goal is to make it's a total of 16 units, and also give all 4 of the buildings a facelift to bring it up to the standards of the neighborhood. And so easily this $500,000 property can become $1 million or even more valuation. And so I am very excited about this. This is like it's like my baby. It's definitely been a huge boost of confidence for me. Like I said, I've wanted to do this for over 7 years now, and Peter was able to make that happen in less than a year. It has been such a great journey.
All right, let's wrap it up right here. I hope you enjoyed her story. If you can, I'm sure she can use the encouragement. Go ahead and just tell her congratulations, or give her a high five in the comment box. Okay? All right, let me wrap it right here by asking you a couple of questions. Are you a certified BP, a certified business professional? Well, if you are, here's what I want you to do. I want you to stop it. That's right. Just stop it, right? And can you see yourself doing what she's doing? Of course you can. But it starts here once again, as I mentioned this a few minutes ago. You have to acknowledge where you're at today, that what you are doing today is not equating to developing passive income. So acknowledge that today. Number 2, you have to learn commercial real estate, right? You can do it by 2 ways, okay? Number 1 is we have a link that will appear on the screen. Download our book. It's free, no obligation. Also, you can take the road that she took, was to join our Protege Mentorship Program. You can do that as well, or do both. Thirdly, I want you to uncertify yourself as a certified BP by taking action, like we've shown you in this video. All right, okay everyone, so thank you so much for watching our video, Passive Income for Busy Professionals. If you want more videos like this, go ahead and click the subscribe button. It'd be great if you can just like this video. All right everyone, thank you again so much, and I'll see you at the next video.